Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So today the plan is to go and hunt some of the optional bosses, things like that. Wildlife madness has been bugging the ever-living hell out of me, so we're going to be hunting for that first if we have time in this episode. Otherwise in future episodes we'll be going back to the Warrens, the Ruins, and the Cove, hunting a few of those. Just took a break last episode because, well, we could. So, group for today, we're going to be going in with basically monster hunters and monsters. So Rex, Trophy Hunter, he has Biting Blade doing plus damage versus bleeding. Apex Predator moving him back by 1, targeting row 1 doing a stun, shuffle, and bleed 5 for 5. Apex Predator also having a plus bleed and stun chance, plus doing 33% damage. Trifuricate hitting rows 2, 3, and 4 doing plus 30% damage versus bleeding, and Bloody Ambition utterly obliterating anything that attacks him and giving him a block. Crocodilian's Head also giving him 5 accuracy and on monster kill healing 12% of his max HP on monster kill. We then have Carmine the Duchess, mainly using Crimson Downpour, hitting rows 2, 3, and 4 at the same time, upping the amount of bleed damage they received if she is in beast form, which we will be using it in, and bleeding them 5 for 3. Realistically, it's going to be a 7 or 8 bleed as long as the bleed thing goes off, and we have few trinkets making them bleed for more, have a higher bleed chance, and upping the debuff chance for that debuff to up the bleed amount received. We'll get into that in a bit. We also have Feed the Beast, which bypasses guard, bypasses stealth, and self-heal 15% of max HP. We have Noble Obligation, which as beast form, which we'll usually be using it as, plus 20% damage received debuff, pulled by 2 and minus 40% damage, but on off chance that we are in a human one we want to use this, has a 3 for 3 bleed and plus 10% crits received, and Castigate for a stun. For her trinkets, we have the Seer's Ritual Necklace that we just got from the Grey Seer in the last episode, so she'll take 20% less damage. It's a little bit better than protection because there's no way to really bypass that as my knowledge. She'll have 25% debuff resistance and plus 50% debuff chance for all of the debuffs that she has on basically everything. We then have the Whip of Domination, so she does plus 25% damage versus anything that is bleeding, plus 30% bleed chance, plus 33% bleed duration, minus 20% bleed resistance, and minus 10% HP. For our main healer, we're going to have Duchess the Tempest again, mainly using Shock Coma for once, so 2 blocks, 19 heal, 500% stun chance, so best to use this at the end of a fight, unless it's an emergency, and Energize Healing for 1, and then it's a base 2 for 4 restoration, but we have some things that are going to be changing that. We also have Feedback Loop that gives whoever I put this on a 6 speed and 50% armor piercing, and then on next 3 monster kills, whoever has this will heal other heroes, so it won't heal them, a 4 for 2 restoration. And then we have Amplify as our last move, kind of acting as her attack. The party gets plus 20% healing received, 50% crit multiplier, and that's for the entire battle. She will then activate a riposte for the entire battle. So she has a lot of stuff that she can use to set up, and then she just basically goes into healing. For trinkets, like I said, we have things that are going to kind of change Energize. So we have the Low Pass Filter, which is her very rare, minuses her speed by 1 and her crit by 12% chance. So as of right now, she has no crit chance. Shock Coma will do plus 20% healing done. I'm not sure how that 20% of essentially 20 is 24, so that's going to do about 4 more. So Energize is going to have a 25% more restoration duration, so that's going to be a 2 for 5. And then on any action, so anytime I do any of these, the party gets 7 dodge for 1 round. It doesn't last that long, but 7 dodge is 7 dodge. And then we have Impulse Gate, so that her riposte does plus 33% damage, which we'll be probably using at the beginning of a battle. Energize will do minus 50% restoration amount, so it is a 1 for 4 base, and then plus 100% duration, so it's a 1 for 8 before Low Pass Filter. Then on riposte hit, buff the party for 2 speed for 1 round. So that's how we're going to be having Duchess go. So I'm not sure how all of that is going to work with Energize. I'm assuming it's going to go for a 1 for 9 round, but I could be mistaken in how all of that kind of combos together. My thought is I can either toss Energize on someone at like the end of the battle, other than like a Shock Coma, and then they can just basically walk off the restoration, and it could be like a 9 heal, something like that. Shock Coma obviously would heal for more, but that could be like a turn, like something's not immediately going to die, die, and I need that last action to take someone out, something like that. And then finally we have Robin the Bowman using bleeding arrows. So piercing arrows just hitting everything, limb snipe for lower accuracy and crit, and then the kill to finish things off. We have the Moon Oil Bowstring, which I've been really liking. On hit, other enemies will get plus 20% bleed and blight amount received, comboing kind of with Carmine there. On kill, other enemies will get 1 bleed and blight for 3 rounds, which if you hit enough, the bleed and blight will be way more than 1 blight for 1. And then we have the Cruise Boarding Hook, so plus 30% bleeding chance, minus 5 crit versus bleeding, but on attack hit, he will bleed 2 for 2 rounds. So that kind of stacks with piercing arrows here. It's going to probably be a 5 for 3 instead of a 3 for 3. And then on attack hit, he has a chance of stressing himself out 1 for 3 rounds at a 33% chance. So let's see what we find in the Weald. It is a long, so hopefully we're going to find some of the Wildlife Madness. Thing has assured me and actually showed me some numbers that chances have gone up, that the Wildlife Madness stuff has actively been modified. We're going to use some training ribbons here. We're going to have a yellow hand for scouting. I don't think we actually need anything for debuff, so we're going to take Amphitheater once again for the stress. And after that, do I actually want anything? Have shovels, have food, bandage, anti-venom, medicinal herbs, bunch of torches. Do I actually need anything? I don't think so. Let's go. Oh, and then fair warning again today. I'm not sure what it is, but the neighbor has some kind of a cleaning service with a vacuum running into their front door that's making a lot of noise. You may be hearing that in the background. I always do my best to try to edit those things out, but it does kind of punch through here and there when I'm talking into the mic. I do apologize for that.
Corruption has soaked the soil.
But when it goes on for days, there's not really much I can do about it. We're going to use the yellow hand here on Duchess, the Tempest, and then we'll continue on. So we have a fight here right on the first tile. When this happens, it's almost guaranteed to be a mini-boss of some kind. Oh, really? I was not expecting this. So we are going to amplify, get the riposte going, crits, or not crits, but crit multiplier, or not even multiplier, it's the damage multiplier. We are 150, 160 stun chance, so that's a 70 chance on the giant. Sure. God, I'm bleeding for 5. Oh, that's gonna bug me. I need to change that. So we're changing to bleeding arrows. And then we're going to piercing. Bleeding for 10, bleeding for 6. Gonna castigate the Shrew. Just stunning her. Also stumble. Be the beast, crit versus stunning. Or crit versus bleeding, rather. And then we got the corrupted giant left. We are going to feedback loop. Because plus speed, and I mean not much more than that, plus speed.
Inspiration and improvement.
Limb snipe for the accuracy. Thankfully no hit there, so we didn't have anything happen to us. And a biting blade for the crit. Bleeding for 15. Trifuricate, and he's down.
Size has no intrinsic merit.
Taking what we can, default party order to put Rex back in front so we can Apex Predator, and fixing this because it's going to bug the ever-living hell out of me. So piercing arrows, limb snipe the kill, then change arsenal. We want change arsenal in last because that's going to bug me. Digging through this.
Herself, a victim to the spreading corruption.
In we go.
Malformed.
Torch there. Hey, Frenzied Cultist. How are you, buddy? Amplify. Piercing arrows, get them all bleeding. What I'm actually going to do here is Monstrous Affliction, change to Beast Mode. Crimson Downpour up, bleeding received on all of them. Bleeding for 15, 15, 15. You're going to Apex Predator. Hit Champion. Champion down. Can you really say it's another one for the bag when you basically ripped his face off? Maybe the front part of his skull? Alright, so we got a Blight there, 6 for 3. So what we're going to do is feed the beast, hit the Cultist here. Topping up. Unfortunate, because the riposte probably would have taken him out before it healed. But what we can do here is, kind of like I had suggested before, if I energize, that's going to make it so I really don't need to use an anti-venom.
The slow death.
So we got a 1 for 9 and a 6 for 2.
Unforgiving.
Cultist goes down to bleed. Bombard goes down to bleed, but we'll take out the Bombard for now.
A faint hope blossoms.
The kill. Take anti-venom, take bandage, take money, leave bust.
Confidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Leave all that. Use extra bandage there. The secret door, I don't have key for. We'll come back for that. There's probably a boss battle or something in this hallway to the north. I'm gonna check that out.
Packs laden with loot.
Extra food, we're gonna use that. Leave the journal. Well, we got some wildlife madness. That is a bonus. It's only 2 of them. But we got 2 Oblivion buzzers by themselves. I'll consider that a win that we even found them.
The abyss returns even the days.
I'm gonna be taking them out pretty easily. So I'm just gonna heal Tachesis. If I feed the beast. Oh really? I'm probably not gonna be taking them out. Oh wait, if I bleed. What if I noble obligation? That'll bleed them. And crit 1, take it out. Okay. Fighting blade. The other's down.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy.
I take the money. Get rid of Crest. Next tile is another fight. We have Cultist from the Manor. So let's get Amplify going. That's probably going to be for the Witch if I don't take it out. What we're going to actually do is try to stun the Watcher. That's going to be our first go-to. We're then going to bleed all of them. And Trifuricate.
Press disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
And then they don't even hit Rex. Good boy. Let's feedback loop Rex. Piercing again. I'm assuming the champion bleeds out. 12 bleed, yep. Trifuricate again, and that's the fight. Chomp chomp.
Precision and power.
I mean, could you save a slice for later? I wouldn't blame you.
Foolish horrors.
Alright, the gold is
Into the mud.
probably not going to be worth much later. We'll torch up again.
The light gains purchase.
Anti-venom this.
Spirits are lifted.
Alright.
And purpose is made clear.
Treasure room up top could be something. Food up. Alright, Fungal, Stalker, Blighted, Shrew. Get the riposte going just in case. We're gonna Monstrous Affliction, then we're gonna Crimson Downpour, bleeding all of them, especially the Stalker that is Stealth. That is an 8 bleed on all of them. Apex Predator, the Claw. It's bleeding for 5 and stunned, and now when it goes forward, it has to do the Stumbling Scratch or Harmless Swipe. Then bleed all of them.
Gnawing uncertainty. The birthplace of dread.
Shrew goes down on next turn. Bombard goes down on next turn before marking anyone. So no marks on anything for the things that would rip my face apart. That's great. I love it. Feed the beast, healing up. Or not. We're going to Shock Coma to heal the Duchess. I know she gets stunned, but I'm probably not going to need her. Stalker goes down, so we're going to use the kill on the Claw. Fighting Blade. I think both go down.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Take the ruby.
Success.
Use the holy water. Gonna actually use one of the camps.
Trick of the light.
So feast for the stress. Leave the deed. Someone has a prevent nighttime ambush, yeah? Actually, I'm considering not using one. So survival skills for the scouting. Plus bleed chance and blight chance on serrated arrowheads. Especially because Moon Oil Bowstring. We're going to do Calling Card for the plus crit. Ooh, do I want an Electron Cloud or do I want a good floss? Let's go for the dodge. Electron Cloud for party 4 battles. So that's plus 10 dodge and then plus 10% dodge. And then I can do Wade Boots so he has move resistance just in case anything happens. And I'm ambushed. Got the baboon. This thing is gonna be so happy. What's happening? I'm not sure why this isn't going away. One moment. I think I just need to get one of their attacks to proc, but I'm not sure why this isn't going away. We're gonna amplify for the crit. Especially because of Bristleback Baboon, knowing what this thing did to me in Black Reliquary, we're gonna use Bloody Ambition. There we go. Munch. Oh, it's doing it. So yeah, okay. What Bristleback Baboon did in Black Reliquary is it could eat parts of its ally. As you can see, it did 4 damage, and now the Scout Buzzer, before I did anything to it, has a 4 bleed for it. It would take parts of its allies and take it into itself, so it just got a 24 max health increase, 15% blight chance, and 33% damage versus blighted. Baboon gonna hurt. We're gonna piercing arrows, hit all of them, hopefully bleed.
A decisive pummeling.
But the Ancient Spitter can bleed, or blight us. I think the Buzzer can blight us. If it wanted to and didn't want to horror us there with Buzz Blast. They can also bleed us, but it's not gonna do too much versus bleeding, thankfully. Okay. And thankfully it's not going to pop off until next turn. I really could just take out that spitter right now and take a lot of the risk out of the fight. What's it bleeding for? 6? Actually, let's just do this. We're going to transform. We're going to take the Crimson Downpour, because if I even hit it for 1 damage, it goes away. It dodged. Okay, that's how this is going to be. At least we dodged 2. It's going to bleed out, so Spitter goes away. A lot of the blight damage goes away. Scout Buzzer goes away. Let's feed the beast, get rid of Oblivion Buzzer.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Okay, well, 2 of them gone. And he has a stun and a blight. We are just gonna heal ourselves.
A time to perform beyond one's limits.
Bleeding both of them. Leave the buzzer. Oh, no, had 1 health left. But as you can see, in that mash, it wasn't that scary. Just because it only had 1 thing that it could actually, like, do the blight with. But I believe in Black Reliquary, and I can't speak because I don't know the mashes for this right now. Black Reliquary, it could have double Baboon. Or Baboon plus Viper, things like that. And that was just one of like 5 different buffs it could get. So Baboon down. But the Baboon has the potential to get very scary. But that's what I was mainly looking for, is that guy. He's really cool. Like, the amounts of things he has the ability to do is very cool, because depending upon which ally he decides to eat is what ability he gets. I believe it is based, if he's still taking from Black Reliquary stuff, it's based on the enemy type. So if he eats a beast, he gets the plus blight type or something like that. Or if he takes it, what were they, insect or whatever, he takes that beast, he gets something else, blah blah blah. So, and you know, of course, if one takes plus blight, another gets something else. They can really combo off and get really deadly really quick. And we'll take the chance. Of course I miss.
Ancient traps.
So, anyway, I thought they're really cool.
Thirsting for blood.
I'm actually kind of surprised I took them out that easily, although I suppose I had a really good group synergy going on here. Got a bloody ambition to take out one of the dogs right away. Bleed them all. And then we'll Crimson Downpour them. That should take out like 3 of them, I think. Maybe. 15 damage on all of them. So yeah, just 1 doggo left. And if he hits the wrong one, yeah. That's gonna be that. Rex eating good. Or maybe it's just bones, but does Rex like bones? They're a good crunch, right? They're a satisfying crunch. Alright, we'll leave that.
Creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
I'm gonna go all the way up here, and then we'll explore down there. And use this to heal up. And take the sapphire, leave the rest of the food. Ghoul and Gargoyle. Torch up, first of all, amplify. Definitely want the bleeds here.
The will to fight.
I actually do have a bleed chance versus the Gargoyle, so that's awesome. It did resist, but I did have like a 40% chance or something like that. It wasn't great, but I did have a chance. We're going to Apex the Gargoyle here. Once again, I do have a bleed chance. It's not great. It's only like a 30, but damage and stun chance. Not going to get piercing arrows off, so I'm probably going to take out the Gargoyle in the back. The kill. There we go. One down. Blighted. Feed the beast. Oh. Well, you know what they say about chances. Okay, so if I do the kill, yeah, we'll probably take out the Gargoyle. And then we'll spread Bleed and Blight again to the Ghoul. So 13 Bleed, 1 Blight. We're going to Monstrous Affliction back, so I'm not doing as much horror to myself. Then I'm going to Castigate to try to stun. Which we did not, but now he goes down to Bleed and Blight. Does anyone need a heal? 79, 54, 36. It's not much, but it pops off. And bada bing. Not sure we'd be eating that, but you know, you do you. Take what we can. No one's got a bleed.
Promises success.
Can do that for the Onyx, not that I need the money, but sure. Come back for that possibly. I don't have too many shovels, but I don't think there's gonna be 2 in that last hallway. Oh, the Gallows tree. Cool. Well, definitely gonna Bloody Ambition that. Oh, that's right. I need to torch that way. So I'm gonna feedback loop actually right away, just get the armor piercing on Rex. Change for the Crimson Downpour Bleed, get that sap coming out of said tree. Got the debuff there. Not gonna bother with piercing arrow because we're only hitting one, so limb snipe so that it doesn't hit. Darn. Bloody Ambition. Still get it. 32 crit. Like, half of its health is almost already gone. Would prefer it not dragging the Bowman out of 4 there. So let's see what Apex can do for bleed. That's 24. So only a 20% stun chance, or we can go for damage with Feed the Beast. So we'll do Feed the Beast. 24 bleed. Suppose amplify. Face the Gallows. Yeah. Or Noose Titans. Although thankfully we have the movement resistance, I suppose. And we can do the kill. Extra bleed. That's not one we can riposte. And Trifuricate.
A victory. Perhaps the turning point.
But we have the Radiant Sensor at home. Still take it. Another one doesn't hurt. And we don't need the rest. Alright, default party order. Amplify. We're going to go to piercing arrows. 2 of them are stealth, so they're harder to hit otherwise. Got them all bleeding. Bleeding for 6. Crimson, oh. Monstrous Affliction, Crimson Downpour, bleeding for more. So 15, 15, 15. Gonna trifuricate the Bombard. Think Bombard goes down now. Prone goes down. So just Stalker and Claw are left. Okay. Now, let's feed the beast. The beast hungry. Gonna do energize to heal. That way I'm not stunning the person who can AoE here. Gonna biting blade. Claw does go down to bleed after I piercing arrow. And so will the Stalker. And that gonna be that. Take the Onyx, leave the rest.
This moment,
Ancient Coffin.
push on to the task's end.
And up we go. There we go. A little bit of de-stressing with her. Ooh. We want Rex to do this just in case. Plus 30% damage until camp. Exactly what I was thinking it would be. Oh. All of them are stealth. This is problem. This is problem. Amplify riposte. Just gonna have to pass. Bloody ambition, yeah. I don't think the Duchess can do anything either. Oh, bypass stealth, okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Stalker bleeding for 2. I mean, it's not much, but it's something. All things considered. And I have a target. I have 2 targets. What we're gonna do here? Yeah. We'll put, feedback loop on the Bowman, because when he takes something out, if he takes something out, we'll probably get healed from it. Feed the beast. Let's go at the Stalker here. Just because the other Stalker in front is probably going to go down to piercing arrows. And we'll get healed from that.
Masterfully executed.
Like so. Again. Another. So that's 8 restoration for 2 rounds. Another, I must... No, that's damage over time. Feed the beast.
A singular strike.
Energize healing Rex. 9 for 9. I mean, most of that's going to fall off, but that's fine. And then Stalker bleeds out. Take the ruby, take the emerald.
Victory.
Mercenary glove for the foreigner. I don't believe I actually have this. +4 crit, grudge does +20% debuff chance, and -10% stress relief received. We'll get rid of some money for that. And then I don't believe anything is here, but we'll check it out. Just being safe. Alright. Backtracking. We'll get everything along the way here. Maybe enemies spawn along the way.
The light, the promise of safety.
So bandage this. Take the emerald, leave the rest. Bandage. Kinda hoping for that key. I don't think I've given one up yet, but... Oh, speak of the devil.
Waiting to be spent.
Now I can go into that secret door here. I'll use one here. Just see what we get. No blockages like anywhere I see, so saving one for like one of these two hallways. We'll see what happens. Can't go into that, unfortunately. I mean, I could, but it's a little risky. Goblin Mad Bombers. Madder Bombers. So, was this the one that was named D? Goblin Bomber, Stealth Bombers D or something like that? I had talked to... Oh, I don't remember who it was. I feel really bad now. Viking something? I'm scrolling up now. It doesn't help the fact that I finally found them, and then their names are like... Some names are there, and then some names aren't because I'm recording. But I had talked with the modder who made this, and the name that was like Goblin Bomber D was supposed to be like a angrier bomber that had like I suppose it's supposed to be doing more damage or something like that than the other one, where the other one was supposed to be easier to take out, and then the other one was supposed to be like harder to take out but did less damage or something like that. So that's why one was way back was called like Goblin Bomber D. That's the tangent right there that I was trying to go off on. So yeah, the more you know. That's why there's actually two Goblin Bombers. Also, I just realized, does he have a TNT thing strapped to him right there? Feels like this one in particular has a little more detail. Maybe I'm crazy. Amplified for the riposte. Maybe I'm just looking at him a little more closely now, but looks like he has a little more on him, like explosive-wise. We're in front, so we can't do what I want, so we are going to stun the ghoul. Actually, no. Bleeding everyone. Yeah. Matter bombers are gonna bleed out anyway. Never mind. Just ghoul left. Fighting blade. Limb snipe for accuracy. Noble obligation for the bleed and plus crits received. Let's have some fun with them. Haha. Ha ha ha. Kill the Duchess just because we can. And armor piercing because 40 protection. Into Trifurcate.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Take the ruby, take the sapphire, leave the rest. Right? Yeah. Keep going down. Anti-venom this. Take what we can, leave the rest. So I'm going to pop down to the traps, de-stress with that. Then we're going to go right.
Finding the stuff is only the first step.
Torch up. Trap with Duchess to de-stress her. Nope. Okay.
Ambushed by foul invention.
So this one's once again kind of easy to take out. I guess they outspeed me, so it might be a turn 2 thing, but that's fine. So, bandage that off, Monstrous Affliction. Crimson Downpour, get them all bleeding. Up bleeding duration received, or amount received, rather. An Apex Predator, this boy.
Obliterated.
I think he went crunch. We're gonna Piercing Arrows, hit the other 3. And, well, 16, 16, 16, they bleed out. So, Affliction back. Heal up off of them. Healing the Bowman. Who can then do the kill. Didn't take out the doggo, but, you know, bleed. Taking what we can, leaving the rest. Going back up, then we go right down left.
Will resistance.
Anti-venom this, not wasting the key. Taking what we can.
Trinkets and baubles.
Default party order before I forget. Carmine, you can do the trap. I know it. There we go. It's a little bit of food here. Not that I need it.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of...
Leaving the rest. Torch up. Got 2 stacks of food. I can leave that at 10. Gonna go down. There's a secret room here. I'm gonna pop the key on it.
Wealth beyond
2 trapezohedrons there. There's 1 there. Using the last torch from that I can. And, well, what's in the pack? Not much that I can take. How about this pack? It's already been looted. That's a shame. Decaying carcass. Oh, okay. I thought there was a leg right there and that was attached to said thing. So, okay, Shriekling's probably going to have a parasite. That's just my luck with the Shriekling and dead carcass, blah blah blah. Affliction. Crimson Downpour. Get them bleeding. Piercing Arrow, bleed for more. So 16 bleed on Bombard. 13 on Shriekling, we're gonna take out Bombard.
Ground quakes.
I think the Shriekling had a bad day. No more corpse for Shriekling. Beat the beast on stealth, it's down. No one to really heal, so feedback loop. Piercing Arrow again. Shriekling says parasite? That was my guess. Oh, parasite? Okay, cool. Do tapestry, you say? Tapestry, you say? Why must taunt me? Why must taunt me? We'll get rid of food for it. The dragons must have their hordes. Okay, Shunned House, 2 Frenzied Cultists. Need to take out the Shunned House first, otherwise it will be calling more enemies. I've learned that one the hard way. Affliction. House can bleed, as you can see by chicken legs. So we are bleeding the house with its 50 protection.
Nerves.
Part of me wants to do The house is going to go last, and if I Bloody Ambition, I'm going to be hitting one of the cultists, so we're going to try Furicate it. And Piercing Arrows, bleeding him. Miss the cultist, hit the house. House is bleeding for 19. It's going to go down fast. One cultist is guarding another. This cultist is trying to rip a neck out. Gotcha. And this house bleeds out very quickly. So, plan is now heal Bowman. Long heal over time for 9 rounds, so that worked kind of like I expected it to, where it gives the 1 additional round and then the 4 additional rounds. We're going to feed the beast to heal up on Carmine. Piercing arrows to hit all of them, taking out the Shunned house. Got the blight on 1, got bleeds on both, it looks like. Biting blade, 1 more down. Looks like the one with the action. He's no longer guarded. Castigate for a stun. And Apex. Have a snack there, buddy. Extra shovel is always good. Default party order, look in the tent. And we got a map. Good thing I saved a shovel. Okay. Hey, Rexy boy. Well, I mean, that happens. Didn't like what you read. Cohesive ectoplasm. They need to go... Ooh, there's 3 things in here I really don't like. We'll amplify first. The ectoplasms can summon more ectoplasms. Buggo can summon more bugs. Only thing here that, I mean, isn't horrible is the Fungal Stalker, which is actually, it is horrible because this guy here can mark. If I get rid of him, no strike the marked. Yeah. So we'll get rid of you first. 51 damage. I think I annihilated it. Bug went splat. Piercing arrows. Get rid of ectoplasms. 1 did not bleed. That's not good. Other bleeds out. So we'll see what happens. Saytr? Saytr. And I only say he's not horrible because strike the mark, you know, wasn't a thing. I still don't necessarily... Like, I love the Fungal Stalker as an actual enemy. I love the design, I love what they do. They're just not dangerous without something marking. 28 bleed, he goes down. Healing Robin. Like, super, super dangerous, you know. Bloody Ambition, that way. I don't know what I'm saying, it doesn't really matter. Alright, 2 food, that's going at Robin. Can't really take the money, so screw it. Alright, default party order. Moving on along. Yeah, 4 bleed. That's not bad. Okay. And here we got the Corrupt Giant again, Raving Madman, and another Saytr. Okay. I think the stress isn't too bad there on Carmine. She's kinda managing. Feels kinda nice as you're bleeding. Let's bleed them all again. Oh, that could be bad. We're gonna Noble then. Hit the Madman. He bleeds out. You're gonna Bloody Ambition for the blocks, the riposte, the mark, all that jazz. Monster's Affliction. All 3 with Crimson Downpour. extra bleed duration. Well, not duration, amount. I keep misspeaking there. Just moving forward so Robin can do more. Saytr bleeds out. Or Riposte gets him. Rexy boy. Apex. Got the stun, got the bleed. 24 bleed on him. He is below 66, so the kill will do extra. More bleed, 32 bleed. He goes down on next action. Feed the beast for a heal.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Definitely taking the ruby, have a full stack of those, take the torch. And doesn't really matter about the rest. Default party order. Moving on along. And the fight is another Archdeacon. Oh, gonna mark me, are ya? Torch up. What's up, Bear? What's a Mew Mew? Did you just wake up? Alright, almost feels like a waste to just use it on the 2, but the extra bleed amount is amazing. So we'll go for it. Especially considering I'm doing the AoE bleed. Alright, let's take off the champion's face there. And then piercing arrow. 16 bleed. 16 bleed. So just Archdeacon left. We can heal up. 20 health left. Immortality, what's that? Oh, 6 health. And a restoration for 6. It looks like I need to do a little damage to it. To both. Piercing arrow will do the job. Wait a moment. You're bleeding for 16. Oh, minus damage received. Tricksty. Well, minus damage received that. Alright, we'll just leave that. Torch up. Continue on along. Dig through the vines. Thorny thicket. Eat up. That's why we got food. Torch up again. Survey says nothing there. 1 room left. And can take the torch. I almost thought that was another Banshee there and I was going to have a heart attack. Hey, Ravenous Specters. Amplify. You know what? We're just going to do Bloody Ambition from here. You can move back by 2. That chomp is gonna cost you. I chomp back. Then we'll cascade stun the one that has an action. Because we crit, we heal. And moving forward so Robin can do everything. Feed the beast on the one that has less health, hoping to take it out. We didn't. But piercing arrow, 4 to 7, 7 damage on the one that had less health. Because we took it out, we do more bleed damage to this one. And then Trifuricate. That be that. Alright, default order. Torch through this. Guess I didn't need that extra shovel. Alright, I did. I just also needed a torch. Giant ectoplasm. Virago. Alright, amplify first of all. We are definitely getting the plus bleed amount on them if I can, because bleeding is going to be hard first at all. Gonna bloody ambition just because if they hit Rex, it might not even take them down. And then we're gonna piercing arrow, see if we can even bleed them. Yeah, one resist. Kind of saw that coming, but we also got bleed on the Virago, which is gonna help. At this point, if I leave the Virago alone, it does bleed out. However, that being said, I don't like the Virago. Thankfully, we had a block for that. Okay. So, Monstrous Affliction back, change to human. We're going to Noble Obligation, hitting the Ectoplasm. We got the bleed. It's bleeding for 13 out of 16. We are going to Feedback Loop onto the Bowman. That way his arrows already that are doing bleeding are also going to do armor piercing. I believe Saytr bleeds out. Virago's going to have a little health left after next bleed, and now it does not. Which leaves Ecto, which goes down. Thankfully, it's not going to Cytoplasm or whatever that move is for it, causing more Ectos to spawn because it went down first. So just Saytr left, which 2 health and 4 bleed. How's that going to work for you? Pop goes the weasel. Taking what we can, leaving the rest. I am going to see if I can't get a second ambush here.
A moment of respite.
So we're going to feast for the stress.
Steel oneself against the coming horrors.
We are going to Electron Cloud. Electrodynamics for the stun chance and crit versus stunned. Then... does anyone have like an encourage or anything? No. So let's do a good flossing. And then we can do serrated arrowheads and see what happens. Oh, okay. I was wondering if I would get like the toad if I got ambushed again. So that was the thought behind that. And of course, 15,000 gold just for completing the quest. 25,000 because Glint of Gold sells for 10,000. And all the treasure we collected. And we got to fight the baboon. Unfortunate that I didn't find the toad, which is supposed to be like one of the more common ones, I believe. But we found the Bristleback Baboon, which is one of the bigger things I wanted to fight. So between all this, I got 58,000 gold because I'm going to sell the Glint of Gold right away. Everyone was level 6. Blutomania, which I'm going to get rid of. Grey Rot, which we'll have to get rid of. Rabies, which I'm going to have to get rid of. And Clumsy, which I will be getting rid of just because it's bad on Robin. And then, so Blutomania is a force interaction. Clumsy is just -5 dodge. And then diseases are diseases, I don't like them. And then Mankind Hater on Duchess, so plus 15% damage. -15% stress versus humans, replacing Sunward Adventurer.
The poor caretaker.
Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Actually, first Vitalis, because you were doing something else. You can just be popped there. Rex, did you get anything here? Well, you're letting... no, okay. Carmine got a Blutomania that needs to go. I don't like forced interactions. Takesis, you're fine. Robin got Clumsy, which I don't really like, so alright, there you go. Then sort by stress. Does anyone else need this? Does not look like it. At the Nomad Wagon, So we got the old hunter bone for our saw hunter here. Friendly skill bleed self, friendly skill stealth, friendly skill buff self 4 speed, friendly skill buff self 10 dodge. I'm sure there's some uses for this here that I'm not seeing right off the bat, so I'm gonna get this. We have the Foreman's Liquor and then the high pass filter because we were playing with the low pass filter, which is plus 50% crit, plus 20% stun chance. Energize has minus duration, and on crit all heroes minus 2 stress. I'm gonna grab that just because, well, different playstyles. That's basically gonna cross the Weald off the list. I'm not gonna worry too much about getting the Toad. If you really are interested in it, Sorting Helmet has few videos by now. I'm gonna do my best to try to link those down in the pinned comment and in the description somewhere if I can find them. Some of them may not be obvious. I'm sure if I ask them which videos they are, they'll dig them up for me, and I can put them in the comments here, and you can go check out the videos with the Toad. But I've been searching a lot in the Weald, and I just have not been finding those. But there are a lot more things for the Wildlife Madness for you to check out. So unless there's like more stuff added for it, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Next episode, probably going into the Warrens or the Cove, just because things have changed there. Like I said, the Here Be Monsters Home for Lost Monsters patch for the Head Hoarder boss was interfering with the fleshlings spawning. So I want to see how much easier, if at all, it is to find a fleshling. All that jazz in the Warrens. Some Cove mashes were changed with Home for Lost Monsters and Here Be Monsters, all that jazz. So they should be a little bit tougher. Some of the Home for Lost Monster stuff should be, I'm not sure if they are more abundant or if they were just made harder if you found them because, well, it was a little bit easy to bleed like the clams. And then some of the animations were made a little bit more clean, I should say, was my interpretation of what I was told. So I kind of want to go back to both of those before doing everything else. And of course, we still have Nearib in the Wild Hunt. Those are the 3 goals I still have. And then we have Deathmaster, Destroyer from the Stars, and all that jazz to do yet. And then we'll see what happens. So that'll be it for this time. Those are the short-term-ish goals for the next few episodes, and we'll go from there. So that'll be it for this time. As always, I wish you all well. I'll see you next time, and please have a good one.